Welcome, angels, to think outside the box by using visuals to explore new ideas. Set a limit. How will you do something without a budget? You could also allow yourself to do some creative thinking. There's that and so many other more ways, angels, that you can think outside the box. I am Heather Buzzard of Buzzard's Corner of Love, bringing people back to themselves, where we uplift and inspire you to become more who you truly came here to be. Angels, the month of April has gone by just so quickly, already into the month of May. Before you know it, half a year will be gone. I'd like to say, angels, we put a new post up on our Facebook. Our experience of our video of our concert that we went to Friday night at the Kia Forum. We posted that experience of paperless money up on our Facebook page. And here on our YouTube channel, we posted some videos about our experience and who we went and seen and et cetera, so on. So you can check, they're short videos, so you can check them out here on our channel. Angels, like, subscribe to our channel, get this information out to as many people as you know. This is the time for us to come into alignment with ourselves. Grab your favorite drink. Today, angels, I'm drinking passion fruit. Take a sip of your favorite drink. Sit back and relax. As I've said, May 30th is the date for the self-forgiveness workshop. That's a Saturday. It'll be from 11 to 12:30 on Google Meet. We will put that link up here on our channel when I return, and I'll tell you about that a little bit later. Yet in the self-forgiveness is healing package, you will get my ebook, 8 Easy Steps to Improve Your Life Now. You will also receive a PDF file of forgiveness with affirmations and information. We'll have a Q&A, a talk and a Q&A, a meet and greet and a Q&A, and you will receive all of that, angel, and you'll also get a recorded session of that taking place, all for $27. And we will put the link up on our page here next month. But the date is May 30th from 11 to 12:30 Pacific Standard Time. So today, angels, we're closing out our theme of the month, universal flow. And we said that we're going to give you 6 different ways that you can let go of resistance and tap into the flow of authentic living. And you may ask, well, why is letting go of resistance so important to tap into authentic living? And I will tell you, in order to naturally flow with the universal energies of life, letting go of the resistance, swimming upstream, letting go of negative thoughts, letting go of what shoulda, woulda, coulda been, letting go of unforgiveness, all of that helps push you down that stream, which is why universal flow is so important. We don't talk about topics like this in everyday conversations, yet if you implement these principles and these practices in your life, you can move through this world in a much easier manner without the upset, the anger, the attachment, and all of that negative energy that the world puts out. And also, angels, one of the reasons I believe that we don't speak about universal flow or how to naturally flow with life and let go of resistance is because one, society has conditioned us to the negative. We gravitate toward negative experiences, negative ideas, negative news, negative situations, negative political, negative, negative, negative. And because we do that as a human society, that has cast shame on us. And I am a big believer that shame keeps you stuck. And I tell you, angels, that's the only way I broke my shame was to allow myself to let go of resistance, because this whole book, my whole life, first half of my life was nothing except resistance. And in breaking my shame and reclaiming my identity of authentic living, angels, I am now able to flow with the universal flows of life. And I am no longer swimming upstream. I'm no longer going against life, and I'm no longer resisting life. And it makes a difference in how you step out into the world, whether you smile, whether you're happy when you wake up, how you feel when you wake up, what it is you choose to be, do, and have throughout the day. I guarantee you, angels, if you choose to be happy and to have a fulfilling life and to live instead of just exist, apply these principles in your life, and I guarantee you, you will live a fulfilling life. So, we're going to give you 6 different ways that you can implement into your life to help yourself move forward. And letting go resistance involves shifting from forced control to allowing life to flow. Now, I know when I was younger, I used to try to control everything and everybody. And it took me a lot of years and a lot of banging my head against the wall before I would really came to understand that I have no control over anybody save myself. And angels, when that clicked in my head that I couldn't control my outside circumstances, people, I still try to control situations. Yet when I got that understanding that I couldn't control people, I brought that energy back to myself and I started focusing on what I could be doing, have, and how I could change myself and what it is that I can do. And I tell you, the more that I did it, the less I had to because it became a way of life, which today it's just a natural flow. Yet by taking your power back from out there, trying to control circumstances and situations, you can step into your power and recognize that the only circumstances and situations you can control are your own thoughts, which create your experiences. So, what are you thinking? Are you conscious of what you're thinking? I have a friend that says you have to think about what you're thinking about when you're thinking about it. Trip 3 times. Are you really consciously aware of what you're thinking, or do you just allow thoughts to flow through your mind and you pick them up and obsess and observe them, even though you have no control over them? Mind control is something that I learned through affirmations, angels. And affirmations regrew that negative mind path that I had. Because in this book, you get my book, Breaking Shame, Reclaiming My Identity, you will see that negative pattern that I had. So don't think that I've always been Miss Positive and happy and all of that, because I worked on myself to put myself in this space so that I could live authentically in this time in my life. And it's in having regrouped that pattern in my thinking, I now gravitate to the positive. Like I said last week on our show, I'm aware of what's happening in the world, yet I don't watch the news. I don't even get into that world because there's nothing I can do about it. And you just get obsessed about it, angry and upset. So, anyways, angels, moving on. So, if you're willing to let go of trying to control situations and circumstances out there and bring that power back to yourself, I promise you, you will have and feel a different way in life. The key strategies include acknowledging and accepting your current emotions. And how many of us truly acknowledge and accept what we're feeling in the moment? We say, oh, we're fine, even though we mayn't be. Oh, it's okay, even though it may not be okay. Everything's great. I'm wonderful. And yet deep down inside, you're upset, you're angry, you're sad, you're disappointed. And instead of accepting and feeling that in the moment, we stuff it down, drink it, drug it, sex it, shop it, play games, Facebook, social media. We do all of that. Yet, I tell you, if you're willing to feel your feelings, angels, you will move through it and it won't last but a moment. And on the other side of that, you'll feel lighter, you'll feel freer, and you will feel more at peace. In my book is a lot of resistance, a lot of anger, a lot of questions, a lot of not knowing. And in order for me to accept who and whose I am, This part of me, I chose to accept as a story, angels. It isn't who I am, it's a story. And once I changed that mindset in my mind, I was able to accept all of me. It didn't happen overnight, yet it did occur. And by accepting all of me, then I can move forward in life. Yet I felt my anger, I felt my shame, I felt my negativity, I felt my frustration, I felt my upset, I felt all of that. And even after moving through all of that in my life, as I move forward, I still allow myself to feel loss, disappointment, etc., so on, because that's the only way we're able to put one foot in front of the other, angels, is to let go of the past and what was. So by acknowledging and accepting your current emotions and practicing mindfulness to detach from thoughts from past negative experiences, you can regroup that thinking and engage in gratitude, thankfulness, and appreciation for what is. For you wouldn't be here if you didn't have a purpose. God doesn't bring us this far and leave us. And also, another way, angels, to think outside the box is you can look at it from a new perspective. I've made it thus far and I'm still intact. And I'm equipped and empowered because of what I've went through to make it to the next step. This is for you and as well as myself, angels. Yet what I'm saying is, by shifting your mindset and believing in yourself, that you are equipped, you are empowered, you are anointed, you are accepted, you are approved. By knowing that, you can move forward in life if you believe it and you have confidence in who you are. And that's through self love, through self acceptance, self forgiveness. Also, you can, by engaging in gratitude, you surrender the need to control, and it shifts your perspective towards your personal growth, and it anchors you in the present moment. When you are grateful and appreciative, you can't be angry and upset. When you are thanking spirit, the universe, life, whatever you choose to call it, for blessings and have a smile on your face and truly have joy in your heart, that negative energy can't be in that space. And I'm a living testimony, angels. I know the difference between when I'm happy and when I'm not. And I shift that because I choose to be happy, especially at this time in my life. I choose to be happy. So, if you want to get a pen and paper, you can do so. And we're going to give you 6 different ways that you can implement in your life and actually practice and move through the universe with ease and grace. Acknowledge and accept resistance. And everything that I'm telling you, I've done. And when I first heard that, I was like, acknowledge and accept resistance? Are you out of your mind? What does that mean? How could I even acknowledge and accept it when I don't even believe I have it? So that was my first initial reaction. That was years and years back. Yet, acknowledge and accept your resistance, because resistance stems from fear and it stems from your ego. And angels, back in these days, I had an ego that was out of control. Even in my 30s, early 40s, I had an ego. It started taping off about 45. Now that I look back at it, 10 years ago. Yeah, wow. So, knowing that resistance stems from your fear and your ego, and fear is false evidence that appears real, which isn't truth. And ego is your earth guide only, which you can befriend. And as you befriend your ego, it assists you in life. Trying to control situations. That's what's trying to control out there. Fear and ego. Fear of lack, fear of maybe limitation, fear of not having, fear of not being enough, fear of being unworthy, fear of loss, fear of grief, whatever fear. Ego. Who do they think they are? Why are they going to take this from me? I'm going to do it my way. Screw the world, etc. So on. So that's your first task, is to acknowledge and accept the resistance. And knowing that it stems from fear and ego, you can ask yourself, well, where in my life do I have fear? In my book, Angels, Breaking Shame, Reclaiming My Identity, my fear was loving myself. My fear was, am I really worthy? My fear was unworthiness. My fear was that I wasn't enough. My fear was that God got it wrong. My fear was that my life was all screwed up because of my way I was raised. My fear, I had so many fears. Yet this spiritual journey, Angels, has helped me realize that fear is false evidence appearing real, and I have control over what I choose to think. And knowing that thinking creates thoughts, creates experiences, creates my life. You doggone right, I let go of this. Who do you choose to have control of your life? Your fears and your ego, or God and you as one? Simply notice when you are resisting reality, such as tightening up, complaining internally, whispering under your breath. These are all things that I was told and I used to do. And I was like, oh, well, how can that be any resistance? It is. It's energy, and it isn't positive energy. Acknowledge and acknowledge it within yourself without judging yourself. And angels, I tell you, I beat myself up because of that. So don't do that to yourself. Just let it go. Practice detached witnessing. Rather than identifying with anxious thoughts or mental narratives, practice a witness to them. Just allow yourself to witness your thoughts as they float by in your consciousness, and not have to grab onto that and analyze it and dissect it and all that. Just allow those thoughts to pass and see how you feel. And by observing your thoughts, angels, you create space between your true self and the mental activity, which breaks the cycle of resistance. And that is powerful. Shift to gratitude. We talk about it all the time. You can't feel gratitude and resistance simultaneously. When you focus on gratitude, that resistance isn't there. Thank you, Spirit, for this day. Thank you for waking me up this morning, God. Thank you for the roof over my head. Thank you for the bed that I sleep in, Spirit. Thank you for my bank account. Thank you for money flowing into my life. Thank you for safe travels. There is so much to be grateful for. Thank you for this day. Thank you for my safe transportation to and from. Thank you for my family, my friends. Focus on gratitude, and you will notice that coming back to you. Again, I am a living testimony of that. And it comes back as abundance. And you allow yourself to connect with that natural flow of life, angels. True story. I said a couple weeks ago, I'm going to receive a check in the mail. Thank you, Spirit, for checks in the mail. Last week, I got a check in the mail for a significant amount of money. Unexpected. Try it. I kid you not. Number 4, surrender the need to control. And that's where befriending your ego and acknowledging your fears and really knowing that they aren't true comes into play. You have to cultivate, you don't have to. You can choose to cultivate faith in the process of life and trust in your own resilience. And angels, my book, Breaking Shame, Reclaiming My Identity, will show you how I claimed my resilience in all the experiences, as negative as they were. Resilience, strength, courage, faith, determination, trust, strength, all of that I was creating without knowing that at the time. And surrendering isn't a sign of weakness. And that is something that I had to shift in my consciousness, because for a long time I thought that surrendering and letting go was being weak and being soft and letting the other person get away with something, etc. So on. Yet once I understood that surrendering is really truly a strength and it isn't weakness, I surrender in an instant today because I know that it works. And it's a courageous act of letting go of how you think things should be. One thing I did on my spiritual path is years back, I promised myself that I would no longer shoulda, woulda, coulda. Present moment, thank you, spirit, divine order. Shoulda, woulda, coulda doesn't help you in the present moment. It only makes you feel regretful, disappointed, and all negative energies because of what didn't happen. Number 5, treat discomfort as data. Rather than fearing uncomfortable emotions, allow yourself to sit with those emotions at least one time and show yourself that you can make it through and that you're okay. And the more you do that, angels, the less you will have to, and your personal growth will sprout. Approach fear and uncertainty with curiosity rather than avoidance. When you approach fear and uncertainty with curiosity, you're like, I wonder why I'm fearful of this. I wonder what's over here on the other side. And you still keep moving forward. And that's the key, to keep putting one foot in front of the other and move forward. Number 6, angels live in the present moment. Simple as that. Resistance often lives in the past. Regret or future worry. You're either worried about the future or you're regretful about the past. What about your present moment right here, right now, this second? Thank you, Spirit. Smile just because you can. God gave us these smile muscles, angels, just because we can. Wink at yourself. Tell yourself you love yourself. Pat yourself on the back. Inspire, encourage, uplift yourself in the present moment, and you will feel good. And that's what life is about, feeling good. Angels, I tell you, when you are grounded and you ground yourself in the present moment, then you have a sense of mindfulness, you have a sense of peace, and you can experience that peace, and you can experience your authentic self. Focus on the breath, knowing that God is closer than our breath. God is breath. Ask Spirit to breathe on your situations. Focus on the breath, knowing that the breath is the present moment. Stay focused. 6 ways, angels, that you can stay focused on the present moment and move in, through, and as universal flow and the natural cycles of life. As we close out our theme of the month, universal flow. Apply these principles, angels. I've applied them in my life. They work. They work if you work them. If you don't work it, if you don't use it, you lose it. So I tell you, willingness is key. Now, I said at the top of the show that I would let you know why momentum. Theme of the month next month, angels, is momentum. The very first Tuesday of next month, May 5th, I will be in Texas. And I'll be speaking about my book, Breaking Shame, Reclaiming My Identity. And if you haven't received it, pick it up on Amazon.com. Yet from Texas, angels, I'll have a live show. It won't be long, but I'll do a short live show. And I will also do some videos. Now, momentum is our theme of the month, and I have scheduled with my brother to jump out of an airplane. And I've done it before, and I am so looking forward to this. And I tell you, angels, that is momentum in life. And I can't have that experience of momentum in my life if it wasn't truly within myself, because the outer always reflects the inner. Momentum is our theme of the month. Next week, angels, like I said, the 5th, I won't be here yet. I will be back on the 12th for Meditation Tuesday. In the meantime, between time, we'll share our videos and all of the activities that happen in Dallas, Jacksonville, and Tyler. We'll share all of that next week with you, and we will see you personally, live, and in person on the 12th. Angels, like, subscribe to this channel, share this video with others. You can always go to BUZZARDSKORNER.com, BUZZARDSKORNER, Buzzards Corner with the K.com. Angels, you can pick up my book, Breaking Shame, Reclaiming My Identity, available on Amazon.com. You can start or end your day with a positive blog posting over there at Buzzards Corner. We also have coaching packages as well if you'd like support in any area of your life. Angels, there's that and so much more at BuzzardsKorner.com, BUZZARDSKORNER, Buzzards Corner with the K.com. Like, subscribe to this channel, angels. Check out our short videos that we put up about our concert experience last Friday. Phenomenal. Check out our Facebook video. How has the world changed? Incredible. It blew my mind when I had that experience. Check that out over on our Facebook page. Angels, until the 12th, live and in person, I am Heather Buzzard of Buzzard's Corner of Love, bringing people back to themselves.